Okay. Almost got him. About to beat Dr. Wily. Yes! Ha 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 ha! Alright! Where's the ending? Well, it was still a nice gift. After all, it did get me back into the original Mega Man series. Oh, you people out there can have your Red Dead Redemptions and your Fallout 76s, but as for me, I'll stick with the Blue Bomber. He's been doing this gaming thing for decades. And to many people, this game right here was his best outing. I mentioned in my review of the first Mega Man game that it was not a commercial success and Capcom was ready to move on. But the producers did not want to let it die, so the Big C made a deal with them. They will let them make the second Mega Man game while they were not working on other mandated projects. They made this game in their spare time. That is incredible. Well, let's see if the fruits of their hard work paid off. Here's my review of Mega Man 2. Now right off the bat, you can see this sequel offers more than its predecessor as it kicks things off with this awesome opening cinematic. It also gives us a little backstory on the adventure as well. After his initial defeat, Dr. Wily had broken out of captivity and is now out for revengeance. He has built 8 new robot masters to take down the Blue Bomber: Bubble Man, Air Man, Quick Man, Heat Man, Wood Man, Flash Man, Metal Man, and Crash Man. You know, it's funny that in the first game, the robots were intended to be helpful to society. But here, these robots have one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to be helpful to Dr. Wily. So Mega Man gets back in action in order to take down the Evil 8 and put Wily back behind bars. As far as the story goes, well, it's not Shakespeare, but it gets the job done. It's a very reasonable follow-up. I love how this opening scrolls up and shows us probably the most heroic moment in the history of the old NES library, with his hair flowing in the wind. Now give him his helmet, damn it, it's time to go kick some ass! To sum up Mega Man 2, it's the first Mega Man game on steroids, as everything here seems more chemically enhanced. The basic game structure remains the same, as you can choose any of the 8 levels and play them in any order that you wish. Through them, you'll be dodging obstacles with your jumps, taking shots along the way, and shooting those goofy-looking enemies with your Mega Buster. By defeating a boss, you will absorb their unique power that you can access through your pause menu. That is something admittedly was a bit tedious here. This was well before the days of automatic switching out powers with a push of a button. Here you have to pause the menu, find the right power, and pause out. If you change powers, it's rinse and repeat. It just comes with the territory, I guess, but still no less tedious. The bosses are weak to specific powers as before. Now there is no rule stating which order you have to go in. When I played the game, I like to start with Airman because he can be beaten pretty easily with my Buster Cannon. And then I take the Air Shooter and then take on Crashman stage, because Crashman is vulnerable to it. But hey, that's just me. The weapons this time around are just more awesome. Examples include the Leaf Shield, which forms a barrier around you, and then you can fire it in any of the 4 directions with your D-pad. Another cool one is the Time Stopper, which freezes things in its tracks. But it seems to me that the best one is Metal Man's Metal Blade. Many of the bosses are weak to it, and you can influence its direction with the D-pad as well. In addition to the robot powers, Dr. Light will also outfit Mega Man with other useful powers throughout his adventure, which add extra mobility. Here they're called Item 1, Item 2, and Item 3. Well, lack of creativity aside, these powers are some nice additions to Mega Man's arsenal. Item 1 is a rising platform that can help Mega Man reach higher places. Item 2 is a nice little rocket that Mega Man can ride. And there's Item 3, which is kind of this wall crawler thing. It's a little similar to the first one, but it can get through narrow places. So yeah, it's all very helpful. The health drops return here as well. The game is really random, providing health for your life and energy for your powers that are not your buster shot. There are also extra lives, which were in the first game too, but I just forgot to mention them. But one big new feature in this game is the introduction of the E-Tank. Now throughout the levels you'll come across them, and when you do, go out of your way to pick them up. When accessing them through the pause menu, these things can restore your health back to full, and when facing a tough challenge, these things can be literal lifesavers. You can carry up to 4 at a time. After taking down the 8 robot masters, you head to Dr. Wily's fortress to take on the man himself. This part is divided up into 5 sections, each with its own unique boss. The final level features the boss rush mode, where you battle copies of the robot masters one more time before facing Dr. Wily himself. The first match with him is his giant flying ship that can be taken down with the metal blades. Afterwards, you travel down to the deep catacombs and face off against Dr. Wily as he transforms into an alien? The hell? Well, anyway, you'll need a lead bubble for this fight. It is not too hard, as you just need to avoid his one-shots and blast away. Finally, he is taken out, and we all find out it was just a simulation. Okay, that's pretty cool. Anyway, it's back to jail for Wily, as we are presented with another nice ending of Mega Man walking back to his home. Another job well done. This game just feels better and bigger than the first one, in pretty much every way. First off, there's the presentation. While good in the first game, here it's just much more improved. The color palette is a much brighter and detailed, leading to some rich 8-bit canvases. Mega Man pretty much looks the same, but he was fine. If you ain't broke, don't fix him. The enemy characters are also a real treat, as well as they retain that dangerous yet goofy aesthetic. It's 11. The stages are more involved and pop out more. I really dig the forest background of Woodman's stage. I enjoy how creative this part in Quickman's stage is also. When you blast these fire guys, the stage goes black, indicating that they were the only light source in the room. These levels in the game also contain alternate pathways that you can take. Taking different routes can let you find power-ups to help you out, like the before mentioned E-Tanks, which does add to the replayability. Now as far as the controls go, they also feel much tighter than the first one. The slipperiness that I dealt with in the first game is not here this time around, which is a good thing because Mega Man 2 does require precise jumping and timing. But with that being said, the game is not really as hard as the first one. The first time I played the first game, it took me about 4 hours to beat it. Here, it took about half that time. I think it's because the developers made the American release of the game easier compared to the Japanese version. Something like that, I think. I think that's what Will told me, but well, in any event, the game does not feel as much of a grind as the last one. When you do start the game, though, there is an option to play it on normal or difficult. That is, if you are playing the North American version. In difficult, the Buster Cannon is a bit weaker. But to be honest, this is just me, but I didn't feel any real difference between the two of them. So overall, the game is just easier than the first. And they also added a password system as well. When you defeat a boss, it will give you the passcode that you can use to restart where you left off. Well, with the exception of Dr. Wily's 4 stages. For those, it's all or nothing. That is not to say that there are no hard areas in this game. A great example are the light beams in Quickman stage, which give you very little room for error. Fortunately, the time stopper ability can slow it down, making it a little easier. But the worst offender, by far, is Stage 4 in Dr. Wily's Fortress. After you make it through this area, you'll face off against this boss, the Boom Beam Trap, which requires the crash bombs in order to defeat it. The thing is, you have a limited number of crash bombs, and if you use them all up before taking him out, well guess what, you're not defeating him. At this point, when you replay the main area, you'll either have to grind in order to refill the crash bomb energy, or just intentionally lose all your lives and start over from the beginning of the stage with everything at full energy. For me, you basically have to one-shot this boss, and that makes this level bull. Now another thing about this boss fight is that it really brings out one thing that graphically does hinder this game. There is a ton of flickering. In fact, of all the games in the NES, I think this is probably one of the worst offenders, as it makes some parts of the game hard to look at, and you can easily lose track of Mega Man. I'm guessing this is just one of the consequences of the conditions that they were put under when they were making this game. And some of the later bosses have these seizure-inducing moments too. Then there's the music. My goodness, the music in this game produced some of the standard tracks that Mega Man is known for. I don't have to say anything else. Just listen. Despite a couple of flaws, Mega Man 2 is a great game, and one of the most memorable games on the original Nintendo. This game was a huge hit and became the introduction to many people for Mega Man. Its action run and gun style offers something for both newbies and veterans of the series. To many people, Mega Man 2 is the pinnacle of the entire franchise. Now that is debatable, of course, but there's no doubt that's definitely one of the top ones in the series. Well, thank you for joining me on my review of Mega Man 2. This is definitely a game that earned the word classic. Make sure to leave a like and comment down below. I'm Eugene Morris of the Brotherhood of Gaming, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.
Hey there everyone, did you like this video? If you did, why not give us a thumbs up and maybe leave a comment and watch some more of our stuff. Also, if you really want to keep up with the Brotherhood of Gaming, such as myself, William Morris, or Eugene, you should really follow us on our Twitters, links provided below, so you can see what's coming up in the future. And since, we have to play these games sometimes and record them, why not join us on our Twitch page where you can hang out with all of us as we do so and chit-chat about the games that we love so much. Lastly, if you want to help keep our dreams alive, you can support us in any number of ways, either by continuing to view our videos, like them, share them with all your friends and family and your peeps and your girlfriends, or you can also join our small Patreon and throw all your spare cash away. We'll even give you a shout out. Once again, thank you all and have a wonderful day.